Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Walter's World, and we're in Rome, Italy, in front of the Constantine Arch, and the Colosseum's right over there. And today what we have for you are 5 things you're going to love and hate about staying in apartments while you come to Europe. Now, apartment stays have become more and more popular throughout Europe with Airbnb or vacation rentals by owner, all these kind of things, and a lot of people have asked me, hey Mark, could you review them? So, in our traditional 5 love and hate fashion, here we go. Now, the first thing you're not going to like about doing a vacation rental or an apartment rental are finding one. Okay? Finding one, because one thing is hotels have hundreds and thousands of visitors, so people do write reviews. Whereas for apartments, there's not as many reviews, and it's harder to trust them because you don't have as many out there. It's easier for them to kind of put fake reviews in. So it is tough to find them, and also to figure out how good the reviews are and what's really there, because we've gone to ones that had a good review in Sorrento, and the beds actually broke on an 8-year-old that was staying in an apartment next to us because they were so crappy. The reviews said it was great. So that's the first thing you're not going to like, is finding the accommodation and getting really good reviews. So make sure you're reading through and do your research beforehand. That's why places like Airbnb, they have a better review system, so you have a little better luck there. The second thing you're not going to like about staying in an apartment is arranging kind of like the key pickup drop-off times, and this kind of goes along with the owner that's there. Now, when I say the owner that's there, is we've had owners that literally, we were in one in Paris at Christmas time this year, and literally they came, they dropped us off, they met us at the door, they're like, tell us your flight and your train, we'll pick you up there. You know, we're at the door. She's there, here's the key, walks us in, gives us maps, had books for the city, gave us discounts for local shops, said this is where the Christmas markets are here, here's what's closed today, here's what's open today. They were fantastic, but you don't always get such good service. We've had other ones, again, that one in Sorrento, we spent 2 hours waiting outside at their office to get the key. Because if you don't have your phone with you, sometimes it's hard to get a hold of them, even if you do have their number and you are calling them. So arranging that pickup drop-off of the keys can be a little complicated and a little annoying, especially if you're flying in from the US or Australia. You're tired, you just want to get to your room, get to your apartment and relax, and it's not always that way. Now, the third thing that you might not like is the kitchen, and I'll let Jocelyn get into that one.
The third thing that you may not like so much about renting an apartment in Europe is the kitchenette. This is a hotel kitchenette, which is even smaller than an apartment, and I'm trying to make Christmas dinner on 2 burners with some funny pots and pans that have, actually these are kind of cool, these great little handles that you just kind of flip on, and that's how it works. But they're tiny, they're really, really tiny, and they don't have like proper knives. I'm using a steak knife that also doubles as a butter knife for everything. So sometimes it kind of stinks, but the challenge is also kind of fun.
The fourth thing you might not like about staying in an apartment is the garbage and the recycling. Where do I put the garbage? Where does it go? Because if they don't have a person explain it to you when you get there, usually you might have like a little piece of paper that says, oh, throw it in the yellow bins. Well, where are the yellow bins? Where do I put it? You know, and there's hardly any trash bags and stuff like this. So it does get annoying trying to figure out, where do I put all this dang garbage? So what I recommend you do is ask them when they're there, where does the garbage go? Is there recycling? Do I need to throw it out in the street? Because I've basically had all kinds of different ones, because we stayed in 2 apartments in Sorrento, apartment here in Rome, we stayed in apartments in Paris, Avignon, South America, all kinds of places, Vicenza, all kinds of places, and it's different everywhere we go. Okay, so that's the next thing you're gonna hate, is the garbage and recycling, and how do I deal with this? And the 5th thing, and the one that I really hate about staying in apartments, and this kind of goes into how good the apartment is toilet paper. Seriously. Does it come with toilet paper? Does it come with dish soap? Does it come with laundry detergent? Does it come with salt? This is one of the things that can really make it a lot more expensive to go to these places, because you gotta buy all these basics for your 1 week there. Now, some apartments will have the salt and pepper and dish soap and garbage bags and toilet paper. That's the key, which will make your life easier, but some don't. We've had ones that we've gone for the holidays, we've got there was no toilet paper, there was no salt. We had to go buy everything at a corner shop at about 11 o'clock at night because we needed something for Easter because there was nothing available. So make sure you ask, hey, are the toilet paper, how are the sheets, these kind of things, so you know if you need to pick anything up or not. Okay, and this is especially true if you're coming with kids, because you want to make sure, do we have enough bedding, do we have toilet paper, where can I go buy things? So make sure you're asking, where's the closest shop, where's the closest ATM, and things like that. Now those are 5 things you might not like about apartment stays. I'll be honest, I've actually loved them. This trip we've really stuck a lot to them. We spent the week in Paris, the week in Avignon, a few days in Vicenza, and it's been so much more relaxing and fun because you really kind of get to be at home. So what are the 5 things you're gonna love about staying at apartments? The first thing you're gonna love is the freedom. You have a home here. You get to come and go when you want. There's nobody knocking on your door. Oh, do you need the new sheets? Oh, do you need the new towels, things like that? You're free. You want to come back in the afternoon and just lay around, you can. It's not like a hostel that throws you out from 10 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon. You have this freedom to enjoy the apartment, to relax. And that's one of the best things. You know, we were in Vicenza, we spent the morning going to a fabulous exhibit with Van Gogh and Caravaggio, and you know what? The kids were tired. So we came back home and just chilled out for the whole afternoon, went back out for dinner. And you have that true freedom when you do have an apartment. The second thing about renting an apartment, the thing that I actually like the most about it, is it helps you to experience the culture. I mean, think about it. You're not just eating the breakfast down in the hotel and then eating out at a restaurant. You're going to the shops. You're going to the bakeries. You're going to the cheese places and the butchers, and you get to experience what real life is in Italy, what real life is in France. And it really, I mean, I'm getting chills because it was so fantastic in Paris doing what the Parisians do, going to buy my bread for the morning, going to get my cheese for the day, and these kind of things, and you start to understand the culture more. Okay, it's not just CNN news and going to the restaurant. No, I'm experiencing France more. I'm experiencing Italy more, and it is really cool. And that's one of the things I love the best about it, is that you do get to experience the culture much better in an apartment than you do in a nondescript hotel. The third thing you're going to like about apartments is usually they have a lot more room for you to move around and play around and be free. And if you got kids, it really does make a difference. I mean, our boys, they loved having the apartment, and I needed that extra space, so I didn't go crazy, okay? But I'll put a little thing in here to show you what I mean.
And the third thing you're gonna like is getting free space in the apartment.
Yes, the third thing you will enjoy about having your own apartment is you do have the free space to let the kids play around and not kill you or themselves, in theory. But you have room so you can actually relax and take a load off, and you don't always have to do something every single day. You can have some at-home space without the hassle of a hotel. The fourth thing that's cool about having an apartment when you travel is it can make a good base for day trips. That's why we stayed at a hotel in Avignon, because then we got to go to Arles, we got to go to Nîmes, you get to go to Aix. It's all right there, and you can keep all your stuff in that apartment so you're not lugging all your things around. In Paris, our apartment there, we went to Versailles, Fontainebleau, and Chartres. Easy trips to do, and we had a nice base to come home to. And that's what's cool about it, is you get an apartment in one of these places that makes a good base. You have your home for the week that you can go out from and have a good base. And that's why the fifth thing you're gonna love about the apartment stay is it is like having a home. You get to come home to your apartment in Paris, your apartment in Rome, your apartment in Vicenza, and relax, okay? There's not screaming kids in the next room. There's not drunk college kids coming in. There's not the maids knocking things over, asking, oh, is it time to go? You are at home. You can kick back and relax. And yes, you can check your stocks and you can watch your CNN, or you can watch cartoons, and you can just enjoy being at home when you're abroad. And that's why we really do recommend staying at apartments. If you're gonna stay for like 4 or 5 days, it is well worth it. Anyway, those are the 5 things that we love and hate about apartment stays. If you have things you love and hate about apartment stays, specifically in Europe, please put it in the comment section below so we can have some more comments and more fun and more ideas out there. So, au revoir, and please also share your good and bad stories about apartment stays in the comments below. So, ciao from Rome.